Hey, what's going on, guys? IO Studios here for another tutorial. Today I'm teaching you guys how to create a marble material in Cinema 4D and Octane. So here on the right you can see a little preview of roughly what we're going to make. So yeah, let's get started. First, before we do anything, go to the description, download the image link I'm going to leave there because we're going to be using that texture for the material. Okay, good. So once you've downloaded that, we're going to go to Create, New, Shader, C4D Octane Material. We're going to apply it to this. We'll just start our render here. We're going to, actually, we're going to grab our Octane settings here. We're going to make sure that we're on path tracing, have a GI clamp of 1, filter size of 1, parallel samples, max tile samples, always bring those up, minimize net traffic, I'm turning that off, and settings, priority, you usually want high, but since I'm recording, I'm going to set it to medium. Okay. So, we're done there. Now, I'm also going to add some lighting. So, object, HDRI, environment. You can really use any HDRI you want. I'm just going to use a, let's see here, graphical textures. I'm going to use a train station HDRI, which I really like to use for material previews. Load this up here, and maybe bring down the power just a bit. Yeah, just so it looks good there. Okay, so for actual material now, we're going to make this a glossy material. And if you're wondering how to get to this node editor view, just double click on your material and hit node editor. And then you can get to this view here. It should open up another window. Okay, anyway, so we're going to do this here. The index, we're going to do 1.6. And that looks pretty good already, but we're going to make the marble actually have the marble texture. So we're going to image texture. We're going to grab the texture that I will leave a link to in the description. Open that up. Already it looks okay, but we need to change the projection. So we're going to click on our material here, cubic, and I think I'll do like 300 tiles. This is really going to depend on your object. Just kind of do whatever looks good. Oops. Sorry. 300 by maybe 200 by 200. What? I keep on putting up the taskbar there. Sorry. So 200 by 200 works well for me. This looks pretty good. We're going to add a bit of roughness to this as well. And if you want to, you can... whoops, maybe that's too much. I'd like 0.005. Just a bit of roughness, but not too much. Okay. If you want to, you could be done here. And just call this a nice marble material. But there's one more thing we can do to make it more realistic. I've recently taken a liking to using the Octane mix material. We're going to add another material here. So the mix material, we're just going to drag both the materials into. We're going to set the mix amount. We're going to do like 0.8. And you can see here, now we render this. It's a bit brighter. Whoops, we need to apply the mix material. You can see it's quite a bit brighter. But what you will notice is that we can actually now add a second layer to this kind of, which we're going to be, we're going to add some subsurface scattering, because marble, even though it's mostly flat, it does have a bit of subsurface scattering to it. So we're going to add that effect right now. Material type, you want that to be specular. Actually, we can just call this SSS, and I'm just going to call my marble base. And we'll call our mixed material marble. I'm just naming everything. Okay, so our subsurface scattering, we're going to increase the roughness quite a bit. Quite a bit like that. Fake shadows, enable that always. Sorry. The transmission, we're going to make that a bit, just a kind of greenish kind of tint. I don't know, something like that. We do want a kind of deep color to it, so we're going to add a bit of transmission. Now, the main part of the subsurface scattering is obviously adding a scattering medium. So, RGB spectrum and a float. So for the scattering itself, we're just going to add a float of like 0.1-ish. And the RGB spectrum and the absorption, we're going to make that a kind of dark greenish tinted kind of thing. The density, 25, whoops, 25 maybe. And why don't we do a little A-B comparison? So we're going to just apply the marble material itself. Okay, we're going to let it render for a sec here. Store render buffer. Okay, we're going to move this over to here. And you're going to see, here is without the mixed material, and here's with the mixed material. you can see it just has more of a, maybe we can change the density a bit to like, if we try 200, is that too much? Let's like 25. But you can see here, I'm just kind of tweaking this. It gives it a more deep kind of color, more without it and then with it. Just makes it feel more realistic, you know. Obviously, we're gonna just disable that. So that is your marble material, and yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Yes, this is a countertop kind of marble. Obviously, there are more rough marble, but this is obviously like a polished marble, so I guess we should probably call this polished marble. Polished marble. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye.